Marita, these trees have been cut down. 2 have been cut down and 2 remain. The council wants to cut these 2 trees down. What do you think we should do?
They are magnificent trees, and I mean, if you think that you're going to cut down trees every time a branch falls, well, how many trees would be left around here? And our wonderful trees are a major part of our environment here. I think really there should have been a lot more expert advice received on how to manage them rather than jump to the conclusion that they had to be removed completely.
If we want to have an Australian environment and not just a universal city type environment, then a eucalyptus tree, a gum tree, is quintessentially Australian. Take them all out, put in foreign trees. I might drop the limb that these ones drop, but we won't have an Australian environment.
No, well, I mean, it's happening to a large extent already, that people come here, often from some other suburbs that are not so leafy. They come here because they like the leafy area, which is a lovely place, and then they begin to object to the trees and decide that they're in the way and they want to get rid of them. And I think this is a continuing trend, particularly not just because people find the leaves fall into their swimming pools, but they want to build a bigger house and there's a spotted gum or a big tree in the way and they can manage to get that removed to have a bigger house. And it's changing the nature of our area.
And a lot of it is artifice, isn't it? I mean, it's say claiming that trees are dangerous. There's another purpose altogether, as you say.
Yes.
And of course the council is very sensitive to safety because they've been sued before about similar matters. So it's a real trigger point, and the council doesn't seem to be able to respond appropriately.
Well, where will it end? Because these big trees that have dropped some branches are amongst lots of other eucalypts, and any tree is going to drop a branch. But this is something that happens. And this is part of living with eucalypts, and eucalypts are very, very important for all our fauna. And although people love their furry and feathered fauna, they're full of insects, and this is what feeds the birds and, the general environment.
My understanding is that eucalypts take something like 150 to 175 years before they'll produce a decent hollow.
Yes.
Nearly all our native animals are dependent on tree hollows for survival and for breeding.
Yeah.
And so we are chopping trees down when they drop a limb, which is an essential part of the hollow making process.
That's right. You don't get a hollow just from nothing. Yes. I mean, these trees, they are said to be 70 years old, but I would doubt that there are any hollows in them.
There aren't.
I don't think they're old enough yet.
So it's going to be another 75 years
it could be.
or 80 years before these trees even look like forming hollows.
And they're going to have to drop some more branches.
And we're going to kill them all. So extrapolating this over the whole area and over all trees that might drop a limb, we will have no native wildlife at all in 50 years' time because we've killed all the trees that nurture that wildlife.
Yes.